5:30.
Well, if Les and James are still listening, or any West Ham fans or Everton fans who are feeling a little bit down, this next item might be of help. So if you're feeling a bit dispirited right now with the dark and cold January mornings, or if your football team are letting you down, we're joined by someone who might have an antidote. Andy Cope is a doctor of happiness, and he's here to talk about National Hugging Day, which is today. Happy Hugging Day, Andy.
Yeah, and to you, Gordon, and to you, Ellie. Quick question. Are you huggers, by the way, before we start? Are you huggy people?
We definitely are. Yeah. We both gave each other a hug and when we arrived in the office.
There was a warm embrace this morning, Andy. Yeah. We got it right. It was very cold outside, so it was necessary for a couple of reasons. Andy, my first question for you is a really important one. This sounds like a stone-cold, Scottish, miserable man. But what qualifies one as a doctor of happiness? Is this a medical qualification?
It is a PhD from Loughborough University, so from a proper university. Looking at the science of positive psychology, the science of human flourishing. Yeah. So my job, Gordon, was like the opposite of all the other doctors and psychologists. They look at you when you're ill. I decided to look at wellness.
Right.
So the starting point for me is, who are the people who aren't ill? Who are the ones who are flourishing and happy? And it turns out, guess what? That relationships form a really crucial part of your happiness. Gotcha. So the ability to create and maintain strong relationships is really crucial, which brings us on to hugging. Yeah. Can I give you a bit of science of hugging?
Yes.
Oh, but before you do, though, who's your nemesis? Who's the opposite of the Doctor of Happiness? I think we need to know who that guy is.
Dr. Evil.
No, I'm not. That was the old version of me, I think, before I learned all this. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about hugs, though. Why are hugs so important?
Yeah, well, human relationships are important, and human touch is deadly serious, actually. There's a world shortage of happiness right now. The world is beating it out of us. So... And I think, National Hugging Day is a bit tongue-in-cheek and a bit of fun, but I think we could set the nation a challenge, a hugging challenge, right? So here's a little bit of a science of hugging. The average hug, if you are a huggy person, lasts 2.1 seconds, right? So a normal hug would be like, if you watch people hugging, it will be like 1, 2, finished. But here's the thing, and here's the challenge for the listeners today on National Hugging Day. For the love to transfer between two people, a hug actually needs to last 7 seconds or longer.
That's too long, Andy Cope.
Well, all the non-huggers are cringing, I know. And let me just put a rider on it, right? Because it's not for strangers in the park, because that's weird. All right? There'll be about 12 people in your life. A really close circle of your 12 people, family and friends, who you could write them down straight away. You'd know who they are. It's just for those people. It's not for your boss, or your customers. And obviously don't count out loud. That's the other thing that I learned because that does kill it. But if you just hug somebody for 7 seconds, it's a beautiful thing, all right? Because essentially that's just long enough for the other person to know that you love them. It's actually an I love you hug. It's a beautiful thing. You don't have to say anything. You just hold on for 7 seconds and that person will know that you're one of their 12. You're part of their tribe, their team, their clan, their family, and you love them. It's a beautiful thing. So maybe that's a challenge on National Hugging Day, is to get the UK hugging each other.
That's a fantastic little way to end this hour as well. Andy Cope is a doctor of happiness. I'm fascinated as well about his nemesis now. I'd love to know who that is. So there you go, 7 seconds. If you know somebody very well, give them a little hug.
If you listen to Tailenders, you'll know that there are 3 ways that sportsmen greet each other. There's the firm handshake, there is the double pat release, which probably lasts 2.1 seconds, and then there is the Viking hug.
Yep.
At least 7 seconds, I'd have thought.
I'm a Viking.
Yeah, you are a Viking.
Yeah.
I think you are, probably. We've got lots more to come. We are going to be building up to Andy Murray's next match at the Australian Open, but right now it's coming up to 7 o'clock on Saturday Breakfast.
The voice of the UK. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A very good morning to you. This is BBC Breakfast. This is BBC Breakfast. This is BBC Breakfast.